Yo, what's up guys, Felix from Giant Lifestyle. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be going over the 5 benefits of becoming an independent courier. So just like there are pros to a business, there are also cons to a business. If anybody ever tells you to do a particular business or highlights about a particular business and just talks about the good things, then run as fast as possible, because in this video, we're going to talk about the pros. Maybe in the next video, we'll talk about the cons, because one of the cons, just off the top of my head. Before this video starts, I just want to remind you to check the first link in the description if you want to learn how to build a business buying and reselling diabetic medical commodities. The second link will give you information on how I built a business flipping pallets. The third link is if you want to learn how to become an independent courier. The fourth link is a book by my mentor in real estate, which will teach you how to flip houses using none of your own money. Check out the fifth link if you want to get 6 free stocks on Webull simply by opening up a brokerage account and depositing at least 1 penny. Below that is a link to my merchandise store where I sell t-shirts. If you like my content and want to show support, go ahead and pick something up. Even though it's sort of in relation to number 1, which is in demand, it is also the price of gas. So right now, the average nationwide gas price is somewhere around $5. I've heard it going up to $6, $7. I think it's almost pushing $8 a gallon. I could be wrong in California, but that could be a con. So like I said, anybody tells you that there are only upsides to a business, run as fast as possible. In this video, we're going to talk about the benefits or the pros. In the next video, we'll talk about the cons. But just to get right in this video, the number 1 thing about the independent courier business or becoming an independent courier, whether it's a business, side hustle, however much time you're going to dedicate it per week, it is definitely in demand. Whether it is being an independent courier, whether it's being a trucker, whether it's starting a owner-operator business, the need for people to be involved in the transportation and logistics industry has never been higher than before. It's in high demand, so that's definitely a pro. Where there are companies who need drivers, they are definitely willing to pay more. Just for example, I seen another article where people where they were basically talking how airlines need more pilots, so they are in demand. Cause and effect: when they're in demand, they're willing to pay more. So that is in demand. The second thing, which is the freedom factor, and that's why we all become entrepreneurs, that's why we all are in search of financial freedom and creating that giant lifestyle, is to control your schedule. So it really comes down to you. How many days do you want to work? Somebody actually just texted me a few days ago and said that they just landed a gig. They went on Google and landed a gig, went into the office, brought their resume, and got hired on the spot. And they asked me how many days should they tell them they want to work. Now, me personally, if you want to show that you're super dedicated in the beginning for at least the first 90 days, you should tell the courier company that you want to work for at least as many days as they need you. And then once they see that you're dedicated and reliable, you can scale it back or scale it forward on how many days you want to work. But in the beginning, or as you build up a relationship with them, you can really control your schedule. You could start and tell them, hey, I want to work 1 day per week, or you can do 3 days per week or 5 days per week, or you can work whatever times or hours that you prefer. So that's the really awesome thing, and that's the thing that I love the most about being an entrepreneur, is that I can control my schedule. If I want to work, if I don't want to work, if I want to take off for 2, 3, 4 weeks at a time, I can. And that's the beautiful thing about entrepreneurship. The next thing is no cap on your income. Now, with this independent courier gig, are you going to go out there and make millions and millions of dollars? No. Can you scale it? Not really. Could you possibly be able to get vehicles and then put drivers into them and then possibly land gigs or contracts? That you could do. So it's not really the most scalable side hustle or business. But if you were to get into a different form of logistics, like, a box truck or an 18-wheeler, that's more scalable. But as far as, driving, packages where a company needs you to drive it from here to maybe 50 or 60 miles down the road, that's not really scalable. But at the same time, there is, it's not like you're working at McDonald's where, hey, you can only work 40 hours per week times your $7 an hour income, and that's how much you're going to make. With this, as much as you drive, especially my buddy Jeff that I brought on the channel a handful of times, who is an independent courier down in Tampa, he always says as much as he works is how much he makes. So if he wants to work 1 day a week, that's going to show up in his paycheck. If he wants to work 7 days a week, his paycheck's going to be completely on the opposite side of the spectrum. So that's the form where I mean there's no cap on your income. You can really control how much you want to make by how much you want to work. You get paid on, you're a 1099 contractor, so you don't really have an hourly wage. However much you work is how much you get paid. You basically get paid on commission only. The next thing that is really awesome, especially if this is kind of like your first side hustle you're getting into, is it's an easy step into entrepreneurship. So, one of the beautiful things about entrepreneurship is there's no cap on your income. As an entrepreneur, you control your schedule. In demand, the world needs entrepreneurs because we change the world, we innovate for the world, we make the world a better place. But different tax brackets. So all of these things are kind of like can relate to number 4. Obviously, as an entrepreneur, you're definitely in a different tax bracket, but you really can get a taste at entrepreneurship, as an intro to entrepreneurship or an easy step into entrepreneurship. It's not like you have to go out there and buy a property. Now, if the property goes good or the property fails, you could make it or you could break it. You could be a zero or you could be a hero. With this, if you have a car, you have a license, you have some hustle, you can go out there and you can get a taste of what it means to be an entrepreneur. You can get that, that freedom. You can control your schedule. You can make $100,000 per year being an independent courier. You can get a different tax bracket. You can control your schedule. So, I would literally wish financial freedom on my worst enemy because it's one of the best things in the world. From growing up, and watching my family struggle with money, to never being taught about money, to being taught that everything costs too much, to thinking everything is expensive, to realizing that I'm now 27 in the highest tax bracket, and I have and live a life of complete and true financial freedom is just completely amazing. So you could start that with being an independent courier. You can get a taste of making an extra few $1,000s per month, or if you land a good enough contract, you can take this full time and then maybe you could even scale it. I'm not exactly sure about scaling this, but you could start as an independent courier and move your way up from there. And then, obviously is you are placed into a different tax bracket. So as a 1099 contractor, you're not getting paid hourly, you're getting paid strictly on commission. So these are really the 5 benefits of becoming an independent courier. Just to recap, obviously it's in demand. The logistics and the transportation industry is at an all-time high. You can control your schedule if you want to work, a few days a week, if you want to work 6-7 days a week, if you want to work weekends, if you want to work nights, if you want to work mornings, it's really up to you. Obviously, you have to find different contracts and different companies that can pertain to that schedule. Some might only have gigs in the morning, some might only have gigs at night, but that's totally up to whichever company you land a contract with. The next one is no cap on your income. Like just with the schedule, if you want to work a few days a week, if you want to work 2, 3, or if you want to work every single day of the week, that's totally up to you. The next thing, in my favor, for people that are just starting out and maybe are transitioning from the corporate world, is it's an easy step into entrepreneurship. So, you can get a taste of what it feels like to work for yourself. You can get a taste of what it feels like to be in a different tax bracket and get paid on commission. You can get a taste of what it feels like to control your schedule. And then obviously you get paid in a different tax bracket. So there you guys have it. Those are the 5 benefits of becoming an independent courier. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to put a thumbs up on it. Also subscribe to the channel, and I will see you guys later. Peace.